Over the course of this school year, we'll be exploring the many ways in which ABC's LCAP positively supports students. Through our local control and accountability plan, Goal 1 brings that vision to life by strengthening teaching, learning, and support for all students every day. Across ABC Unified, a network of instructional coaches are working side by side with teachers to strengthen classroom instruction. Through modeling, co-planning, and reflection, these coaches help build teacher capacity and ensure that all students benefit from high-quality, engaging instruction. In this video, we're highlighting 3 members of this team, whose work represents the many ways our coaches are supporting improved student outcomes district-wide.
ABC has not historically had coaches on campuses, and so that was a new thing for me and also for teachers that I work with.
The job of an academic coach was explained to me as I would be going into classrooms and assisting teachers with whatever they needed. We would talk about instructional planning, we would talk about lessons, we would go over data.
It was explained that I'd be at the sites supporting teachers in their classroom and having more of a hands-on support.
How I came to truly understand the role was actually by doing it, submerging myself in the role.
My role as an implementation coach is to work with teachers to help identify students that have extra needs in reading and how to provide additional support with them. Sometimes that looks like coaching with the teacher, looking at data, identifying student successes, and then also areas of need.
One of the supports that I give teachers is the pre-planning. So before we even do a lesson, I sit down with them before and we go over what is your main goal? What is your main goal? And once we establish what that goal is, what that standard is, now we look at what are the students at.
Because I get to really sit down with the teachers, we get to explore different avenues to make sure that lessons are set up in a way that all students get to benefit from them.
So teachers have been receiving a lot of structured literacy, professional development the last 2 years. I've been able to partner with teachers to come in and practice things side by side with them as I'm learning them myself. Sometimes I've been able to model. I've also been able to provide feedback on how they're delivering lessons. Sometimes I'm just an extra set of eyes in the classroom, focusing on a couple of students that the teacher is concerned with and monitoring how they're doing with the lesson and the changes that we can make so that they are more successful.
This year we've received a lot of instruction on structured literacy, and that's been great because then we could take it back to our classroom and use those practices in the classroom.
I think when it comes to the coaches that I get to work with, I'm very appreciative of their years of service in the field. And I think that something that's very valuable is just their wisdom and experience. It's something that you can't just look up on Google or online, and hearing it firsthand from them is always very helpful for me to put it into practice in my classroom.
The coach is a very valuable asset at our school. She's there to display or practice something before I practice it or do it in the classroom. She's always available to us, and that has been a great asset to our school.
As a new educator, I think one of the areas I've had a lot of challenges with is that behavioral management piece and really trying to find routines in the classroom. And I think that that has been very beneficial to see my coaches walk me through that on how I can put that into practice in whole group lessons and in small group lessons.
I've noticed that many teachers are very, very receptive to coaching, and it really doesn't depend on how long they've been in the classroom. I have new teachers and teachers that have been teaching for many, many years that just view themselves as lifelong learners and are always looking to improve their practices.
I'm a firm believer in coaching. I was an athlete when I was younger, so I think coaches are more of a support and a help, and so that's what I try and provide to them. One of the biggest things I always tease the teachers is LeBron James has a coach, and he could be one of the greatest athletes of all time, but he has different coaches who help with different things.
Our math coach sat with one of our math teachers to go over strategies on how to check for understanding and be more intentional with that. They determined that with doing this and being more intentional, that in fact the students were more engaged and collaborative. I think that pulling them from the classroom is very important because now a great teacher is coaching other teachers. So I think their impact now is larger and more students are going to be affected positively. I've personally seen that with working with our coaches, We're more intentional with our lessons, the strategies that we use, and it shows in the academic success of our students.
I think oftentimes it's easy to provide a professional development or a series of professional development, but to really see in action, you have to be in the classroom, you have to be working with students, you have to be looking at their samples. So I truly hope this is something that doesn't go away and not only just stays here, but grows. That's my biggest hope.
Visit abcusd.us/LCAP to see how ABC is raising up students and unlocking their future.